I might get stuck. It's getting lower. If I want to stand my head up, I can't. It just goes underwater. So the reason I kept pushing is I thought it was going to get wider. But as I'm getting closer, I realized it's an illusion. The water was just so calm and still above me that it was reflecting the ceiling off, and it just looked like a way bigger space. But it's continuing to narrow down. I'm going to attempt to turn back around. Yeah, no. I don't know if I can. This is not good. To move forward, I have to dig the rocks out.
Also known as caving, is the exploration of natural caves. It is a challenging and rewarding activity, but it can also be dangerous. On November 24th, 2009, an experienced spelunker named John Edwards entered Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. He intended to explore a narrow passage called the Birth Canal, but he mistakenly turned the wrong way and became stuck upside down. Rescuers worked for 27 hours to free Edwards, but they were unsuccessful. He died of cardiac arrest due to the strain placed on his body by his inverted position. After Edwards' death, Nutty Putty Cave was permanently closed. His body remains inside the cave to this day.
John's body had settled into the narrow side of the opening, so Ryan had to push his legs over as the team pulled from outside. Each heave moved him inch by inch up out of the hole. By this time, John's legs were in excruciating pain. A rope had been tied around his legs for hours as rescuers tried various methods to help him out. They were completely blue and had no discernible pulse, yet each tug had him call out to stop as his nerves were ultra-sensitive at this point. They paused to give him a moment to gather himself, and then tried again. It seemed to be working. John was finally being pulled up out of this hole. He was raised enough for Ryan to look down to make actual eye contact with him, and pass down a tube to drink Gatorade. This effort was extremely slow going, and they were all exhausted from the difficult effort. Ryan was squeezed in a tunnel just 12 inches high, and had his head near John's legs as they worked him slowly out of the tight 10-inch fissure. Although they were making some progress in lifting him up, they were no closer to getting him out. His legs were hitting the low ceiling above his tunnel, and twisting them into the passage was impossible. He had no control over his legs now, after 19 hours upside down. Without his help to delicately bend his knees to the side, they were strongly considering breaking his legs to get him back into the passage, because time was running out for John. Then, in a sudden moment of blinding pain, Ryan blacked out. When he came to, he was bleeding heavily and confused. The rope, holding the pulley to a natural arch section in the cave, broke and whipped the carabiner and pulley directly into Ryan's face. He suffered damage to his face, lip, and tongue, as well as a concussion. He had to get out of there quickly. John was back where he started, completely wedged in the tunnel with the circulation to his arms cut off and his legs completely dead. He was unable to help free himself in any way. This moment started the final demise of John Jones. After Ryan was checked out in the pit and then sent off to the hospital, his father Dave took his place in the passage with John. It took an hour to re-establish the pulley lines, and Dave tried to tie a rope around John's body, but couldn't get the rope past his wedged torso. All the time Dave was with John, he was not responsive. This entire operation required John's help to effectively rescue him. There was no way to lift his 200-pound, 6-foot frame without him pushing and trying to leverage himself in some way. In Dave's effort to tie up John, he got himself stuck for about 15 minutes. Their desperate effort to help save this man had put both his son and himself in danger. It was a devastating reality. Once he had pushed himself back into the 12-inch tunnel, he was exhausted and had to leave. Brandon Kowalas took his place and brought in the telecom system so John's family could talk to him. His wife Emily expressed her love and told him to take a break and rest after all of his effort. She still truly believed he would be coming out, but Brandon could see what she could not. John was no longer responsive, and no signs of life could be heard. Over the previous several hours, Ryan reported the gurgling breaths that John was struggling with. Now, there was silence. The rescue team gathered in the pit area inside the cave and discussed the situation. It was determined that a medical professional would need to confirm that he had actually passed. A paramedic was sent into the tight section to confirm what was suspected. At 11:56 on Wednesday, November 25th, John Jones was pronounced dead. The rescue teams worked for 24 hours straight to try to free John, but it was just not possible with his upside-down position. The clock was ticking, and he just ran out of time. John survived an extraordinary 27 hours in an inverted position, which is 3 times longer than what was predicted as possible. The 6 rescue personnel who actually reached John in that rocky prison were truly heroic. They willfully placed themselves in a portion of the cave that was unmapped with many known risks. They were selfless in their efforts, maintained a calm demeanor, and never gave up on a seemingly impossible rescue. After they determined that recovering the body would be impossible, John was left to rest in the Ed's Push section of the Nutty Putty Cave for eternity. The entire cave system was closed off with concrete, never to be explored again. A plaque was placed there to commemorate the...
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from where I learned this truth. Much respect to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you few brothers and sisters that watch my videos and gain edification or useful knowledge in this truth and heed the warning. Alright, this is Matthew 4:7, and it reads, Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. This is Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. This is Ecclesiasticus 39, chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. This is Hebrews. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. This is Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 12. Seest thou, though a man wise in his own conceit, there is more hope of a fool than of him. Salakia, let me read that over. This is Proverbs chapter 26, verse 12. Seest thou a man wise in his conceit, there is more hope of a fool than him. So what's the root word of conceit? Conceited, I believe it's conceited. There is more hope of a fool than him, of a proud man, a conceited man. A man is full of himself. All right. This is torment. All right.
Torment.
And severe physical or mental suffering, similar words: torture, afflict, harrow, plague, distress, agonize, cause agony, cause to suffer, cause pain, inflict anguish, execute, crucify. All right. So there you have it. All right. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. All right. The Most High is not playing around. He can plague you with, torment you, torture you, and on the left-hand side, and make you feel like you gotta crawl into these cracks or crevice, cave dive, and then really, he leading you to your death, your demise, a slow, painful death, agonizing death. Just imagine that, being stuck in a cave, a rat hole, where you slowly dying, where your breath, your last breath, every breath you take is your last. The blood rushing to your head. The life is literally being squeezed out of you, and the Most High is making you, he's building up your confidence. He's building up your confidence to make you think, oh yeah. Next time I'm gonna make it out alive. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there. and I'm gonna come out. And it's an adrenaline rush. And I do this all the time, and I can do this. And the Most High is basically he's torturing you. And then the last time is the last time you go in. The last time you go in is your demise. And your family gotta sit there and watch you die slowly. And that's gonna haunt them. That's judgment right there. And then the Most High could bring you back in a new body and do the same thing all over again, or inflict a new plague or torture or whatever you want to call it, you know. But with that said, Lord willing, you've been edified. Shalom to the next one.